What do you want to be when you grow up? Everyone reacts differently to this question. You might get excited, or you might get super anxious. That's okay, because today we're talking about the best way to fight off that stress, by making a plan. Hey, it's Lauren from Roadtrip Nation. Welcome back to our channel. We're all about showing you cool careers that align with your interests. But if you want to reach those careers someday in the future, you've got to start with a plan.
Have a plan. Something that happens while you're in school is that you're in this cocoon, right? And there's a certain sense of comfort, but you have to keep in mind that you're going to emerge from this cocoon, and what are you gonna do then? So you need to have a plan about what you're gonna do once you leave school. You know, where are you gonna work? You should be networking right now while you're in school. Like, you should be networking, you should be like making those connections of people that are gonna help you find a job once you graduate. So if you can, you should like be volunteering in the field that you want to pursue. Volunteer, get an internship, or get a part-time job if you can, but make sure that you're making those connections.
Making a plan for what you want to do after high school or college is necessary, but it can sound overwhelming. That's why when we make plans, we like to keep them smart. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Sticking to this format can help your plans feel less daunting and more actionable. So let's see how it works. Specific. You can plan to be a nurse, and that's a great start. But can you get more specific? Do you want to be a CNA or an RN? What kinds of patients would you like to treat? Do some research. Do some research and self-reflection, and really get down to the nitty-gritty. Measurable. How will you measure success along your plan? If your plan is to take AP Biology, will you reach your goal once you've signed up? Or do you want to push yourself further to try to get an A? Make sure you're setting measurable but realistic goals throughout your plan. Achievable. To reach your big goals, you need to break them down into smaller, actionable steps. So realistically, what can you do right now to get started? Maybe you can reach out to a nurse and see if they'd be willing to talk to you about their job, or sign up for a first aid certification. Relevant. Think about how each small step you take will relate back to your bigger plan. The classes you're taking or the internship you're doing may be hard, but remembering why you're there can keep you motivated. Time-bound. Anyone can make an open-ended plan, but the real trick to planning is keeping yourself accountable. Set real deadlines and keep track of your plan's progress on a list or a calendar. Actually, lots of professionals have told us that they still rely on to-do lists and planners to help keep themselves on track, even if they're not natural planners.
Planning, yes, that's one of my weak points, frankly. I'm very spontaneous, so I had to force myself to do it. I mean, one of the things about failures and weaknesses, once you identify them, you talk yourself through it. Okay, I know I need to do better at this, but it's not my forte. So what I do, for example, every day, I write, what do I need to do today? And whatever I don't finish, I put it on the next list for the next day. I also have a running list of what's my 5-year, 10-year plan, and I check on that every once in a while. Am I doing the necessary steps to climb to that ladder, to that mountaintop? Am I getting too complacent? Am I spending too much time just doing the same things? If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough.
Remember, even after you've created an awesome, smart plan for your future, you'll still run into things you can't predict. No plan ever goes perfectly. Some steps might take longer than you expect. Some steps might reveal new interests, and you'll want to take a detour to explore them. That's all okay, but in order for you to run into those fun detours, you have to start. And making a plan and holding yourself accountable is the best way to get your future in motion.
One of my favorite quotes is like Helmuth von Elder or something, old war guy, German war guy. He said, no battle plan survives engagement with the enemy. It doesn't mean don't have a plan, right? It's good to have a plan. Have some plan, but it's like a rough plan. They're guideposts. And then you actually go and engage, and then that plan is always up for review. You incorporate new data, and now the plan changes. Just go this way, but you don't stick rigidly to that plan. It's rough.
Like Brent said, you should be revising your plan as you go. As you start accumulating education and work experiences and get feedback from peers and professionals around you, make sure to check in with yourself regularly and see if your path and your plan still feel right to you. Because hopefully by now, you're feeling excited about all the possible paths for your future. But if you ever get a little nervous or anxious, remember, the best way to fight off those feelings is by making a plan. If you're not sure where to start your planning process, I've got a tip. Subscribe to our channel. We'll show you all sorts of different careers every week and outline some steps you can take to reach them.